Hi, everybody. This is Tracy Malone from NarcissistAbuseSupport.com. I am here to talk to you about a healing topic, and it's healing after narcissistic abuse, of course. However, we don't often think of trusting again as a key part of the narc puzzle, right? This is the damage that's done to you when you've been with a narcissist. You lose trust in yourself, you lose trust in others. You believe because you made a mistake and were with a narcissist that somehow your trustometer is broken and that you're never going to be able to trust again. This was just too much of a betrayal, and you just close the door. No more trust. I'm done. A lot of my clients have this experience, right? And so I built a journal a couple of years ago called the Trust Processing Journal. And it has all of these instructions on what makes someone trustworthy. How do we sort of rate them? How do we keep track of somebody's trustability? And I was working with a client yesterday, and this is what prompted my idea for the video here was she was like, well, how do I trust again? And we started by thinking about things that her ex had done that were not trustworthy, right? Just tell me a story. Tell me an example, right? Think about this for yourself, right? You know, there were things they did that pissed you off, that betrayed you. Well, that broke your trust. So what was it? And then let's get deeper into what that particular scenario was and go into something on the list here. So, sort of, this is under healthy living. Did they give honest feedback and helpful in a non-hurtful way? Well, every time you said something, they beat you up. So in order for us to think about how we will trust again, it's almost like the anti-narc. If someone did this and broke your trust, you don't want someone in your life that would ever do that again. So it's nice to go back and dissect a memory to find the untrustability parts in it and then start to go, well, that is never going to be acceptable again. And here's how I'll do that. And here's how I will rate them. I will track them. And I know it sounds weird to go, let's track their trustability. Well, if they aren't doing anything untrustworthy, guess what? There's nothing on your tracking sheet. If someone does something that betrays you or bothers you or just even a little bit makes you confused, think about the feelings it is when you don't feel like you're in a situation where you can trust someone, right? You feel betrayed, you feel forgotten, you feel hurt, you feel ignored, you feel like you can't speak up. When you have those feelings, those are things that you want to document in your journal, because if you're, say, let's say you're a new person in your life and they're you're dating them, well, you're going to forget that they said this weird thing or they did this weird thing. So start to keep track of someone's trustability, keep track of the things that they've done, and really learn what it is that we are looking for someone to be when we are calling them trustworthy, right? You don't give your trust away. I'd be like, hi, nice to meet you. I trust you. I had nothing. Then when they betrayed me or when they showed something that was, say, non-integritous, I was just upset. I didn't judge them for it, which is probably good, right? But at the same time, they're constantly betraying. Why am I not judging them for it? I don't want anyone in my life that's going to have no integrity. So let's use that as a sounding base. If someone does something that has no integrity, would you stand for it again? And the example I gave my client yesterday was my ex-husband worked for a big company and he was in charge of their IT buying, and he stole a lot of computers. He thought he was entitled to it because they had plenty. And that really bothered me from day one. Like, how? That's not nice. That's not normal. That's very, entitled to feel like they've got enough so I can steal what I want. Really? 14 brand new computers were in my house when he left. They were, just stolen. That is not someone with integrity. If anyone ever did that in my life now, I would say not trustworthy. Because if you could do that, That's the line. Where else could you go? Like we're not going up. We're going down. We're going, that's like that's where they're willing to go. How far down are they willing to go? Which is what I found out in my divorce, right? But the goal here is to not let them stay if they show something that is totally against your values. You can't trust someone until you learn to trust yourself. And this journal really walks you through, how do we trust yourself? How do you get to point A to point B? Well, I don't know if I trust my decisions. We analyze the decisions. We figure out, well, it's okay that I made a mistake, but to say I don't trust my decisions because I was with a narcissist is just silly. You were conned, you were charmed, you were lied to, you fell in love with a false persona. You were conned. It's like a, a movie that should be. You were conned. You fell for charm and love because you wanted love and someone was so sweet and kind, right? But that doesn't make you not have trust in other people. We have to have trust in other people. We just have to have standards. We have to trust ourselves to say, if they do something like steal computers, you're out of my life. If they are rude to a waitress in a restaurant, you are out of my life. Someone who does these things, it's just the outside part. This is where they're actually saying things out loud. What's behind the doors? A narcissist, if you're like me, and if you're on this channel, you're probably dealing with one, right? So we just have to have our standards be higher and expect people to do things and live up to our expectations, right? Having a secret keeper, right? Someone that is always gossiping about others is not trustworthy, because as soon as your back is turned, they will break your trust and they will talk about you. So this is Tracy Malone. You can find my trust processing journal on Amazon. I have actually 30 something journals on my website called targetedhealingjournals.com. But this is a really good tool to start to understand, because nobody understands after they've been betrayed. Well, how do I trust someone? You don't even trust yourself to even know that you could trust someone. So planning it out, looking at and really understanding it is going to change things. So go get it. It's $8. It's going to save your life. It's going to give you a tool that you might not have had before, because you need to know what are the rules. And then you follow them. You make your own rules, of course, but you're going, yeah, this one's okay, that one's not. I don't like it when someone does this. And when they did that, you look at their memory that they've just done that hurt you and go, well, the reason that hurt me was because they didn't follow this thing that I need all people in my life to follow. So I hope this helps. I will see you again soon. If you look for anything more in narcissist abuse recovery or narcissist abuse education, you can visit my website, narcissistabusesupport.com. You can also follow me on Instagram and Pinterest and all the regular places that people are on. So I look forward to seeing you and engaging you wherever you find me. Thank you so much.